Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm out here at the panels. We've been full for a while on the batteries. They're clipping, just making the power that we're using, and we could be harvesting a lot more power. We're gonna go inside and we're gonna add a dump load to the system. Right, we're back in the house, and one of the components that we need for this is an automatic transfer switch. Found this on eBay. It's got a nice metal case for it. It's rated for 100 amps, which is way more than what the water heater needs. And it does 240 volt. So we'll take a look at this quick and get it so it focuses good here. This is your 240 volt, where your 240 volt wires go. This is your signal wires from each side saying that you have power. It just pulls off a 120, one leg of the 240. And then this is for grid, and then this is for generator. And the way I understand this thing works is if the grid has power, it stays on that. When it does not have power, it'll go to the generator. I'm gonna wire it so the grid's down here and solar's up here, so that it will automatically go to the solar if the inverter is saying, hey, I'm sending power. We'll get this mounted near the wall by the water heater. Alright, first thing we do is make sure the water heater's turned off. Been off for 6 months, being as I've been running the wood stove. And we gotta run power from here into here, then run some wires from the inverter and the sub panel over there into here, and then it should be ready to rock, other than we'll have to do a little programming, which I will try to show you that. Alright, I got my wire ran. I got my wire for the sub panel and my wire to go into the Quattro for the AC2. Now, this is a 3000 watt Quattro, and I know that this is not big enough. My plan is to upgrade this, but this is to make sure that I can get it to work. So first thing, always turn power off. And then we can take this cover off. Okay, now I got this all wired. Now we need to program the Quattro. Alright, we're down here. Inverter's behind me. Got the laptop set up here. You're gonna need the MK3. I did try doing it through the internet, but for some reason it just wouldn't go. So this way I know it'll work. So this plugs into the cable that comes out of the inverter and goes into the servo, and then the other end and grab it. So the other end just plugs into the laptop. And then we'll go into the VE config, and it'll come up with a warning. It says be aware misconfiguration may lead to damage, so you don't want to go changing anything they aren't sure of. Just hit OK, plug it in, and you may have to go into port selection and go into COM port. I don't have it plugged in yet, but so it knows which outlet to use, port on the computer to communicate with the inverter. Sometimes it may automatically connect, so I'll get this hooked up and we'll get into it. Once you get it loaded, you go into virtual switch. You cannot have a virtual switch turned on. Go into assistance, add assistant, and then relay, programmable relay, and start assistant. And you'll get this page here, and hit the forward button, and here you'll get a whole bunch of options. Go down to AC out 2, and you want to set the relay to on, and then hit forward. You'll get more options. We're going to do state of charge because we want it to turn on when the batteries are full. And this screen you just go past. So here on this first one we'll select higher, and then we'll go to 99%, and then we want to add another assistant to turn it off. So we'll kind of go through the same steps again. Programmable relay, start assistant, use AC2 out, and here we want it to turn off. And same thing, state of charge, then forward through this one and lower, then, and this is whatever percentage you want your batteries to get down to. So I put 96, so it'll actually start at 95 and start recharging again. And then send settings, and you're done. It'll send it to your inverter, and you should have your 2 assistants in there. When you send the new program to the inverter, it'll automatically turn off and then turn back on after a short amount of time, and it should be good. So I know this is a 3000 watt inverter, and my water heater has 4500 watt elements, so I know this will not run them. So I don't have the breaker on yet, so it's not sending 240, but the inverter is telling it to turn on. There we go, the inverter's sending power to the transfer switch. The inverter is telling the transfer switch to turn on. So if I had this turned on, I would have my inverter overloaded right now because this is a 3000 watt inverter. Maybe we should try it. See what alarms go off. Saying overloaded, and she shut down. So it's too much juice for this inverter. So we need to upgrade this bad boy. One of the things that I did a long time ago is I put a mixing valve in here that mixes colder water in with the outgoing hot water. Because of the wood stove, my water coming into the house is anywhere from 165 to about 180 degrees. And with the sidearm heat exchanger on here, it gets really hot. So to keep from scalding ourselves, I put this on to mitigate that. And by doing that, then I also turned up the elements to 140. So with an 80-gallon water heater, we should have lots of hot water. My hope is that this summer, once I get my new inverter, that this will take care of my hot water needs, but it's going to be a little while yet before that happens. And if you want to help the channel out by using the affiliate link down below for Signature Solar, I'd appreciate it. That'll wrap up this video for adding a dump load to the system. If you got any questions, just ask. I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.